scan components. Are you clear with both of them? Are you able to do that?
I used rollup component yesterday night, Karthike.
Okay.
But while
Okay.
using the scan component, I was a bit confused. I know the difference and the logic, the scan and the rollup.
Okay. Okay.
But a scan component, I just got confused. How will I use? I have the uh, incomplete graph where I just use the scan component, but I didn't get idea how will I make it functional.
Okay. Okay. Show me your graph and then we'll see. Okay.
Yes.
I'll just make
Shall
this.
I shall I show it now?
Yes.
And this is the rollup I used, and yesterday, based on yesterday's discussion, I just simply generated a record for employee table.
Okay. What was the
Okay.
requirement given to you?
Requirement was not clear, but we discussed like in your KT plan, in your KT, like minimum and
Okay.
maximum salary and DOB or this thing, such things we can include. So based on that, I just what I did, like for each group, I just extracted maximum DOB, minimum DOB, and sum of salary.
Okay. How you are grouping your records?
I have given a key employee ID. Okay, if you look at the transform function here, it's like this.
Okay. Okay. The requirement which I have given you is to calculate the to find the employee who is getting maximum salary from each location.
Mm-hmm.
Is this
No,
not clear to
yeah,
you?
this was there, Karthike, but I didn't get time to implement it. But I
Okay.
can do
Okay.
it.
But you got the idea, right? To calculate how to
Yeah.
get maximum salary by each location. Correct? So how will you do that?
What I will do, like here, I have given key as employee ID. Okay.
Okay.
If I have to extract minimum maximum salary based on city, I will give key as a city.
Okay.
Okay. And then I will calculate maximum and minimum salary.
Okay. Okay. And the requirement is I want to get the name of the employee who is getting the maximum salary from each location. So better try that and let me know whether you are able to get the correct result.
One sec, Karthike.
Yeah. So my output records will be like this: ID, name, location, the maximum salary of that location, and who is getting that maximum salary should be there in ID and name. His ID and his name.
Your output you want like this: ID,
Name,
name,
city,
salary.
and then city.
Okay.
So that salary field should be the maximum salary in that particular city, and ID and names they correspond to the person who is getting that maximum salary.
Okay.
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 And the other requirement I have given to you is to calculate the cumulative sales data according to the date of purchase. Right?
Sorry, Karthikeyan.
The other requirement which I have given to you.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, you can type it down. To calculate cumulative sales data,
Calculate.
cumulative sales data
Mm-hmm.
up to the date of purchase.
Up
It's
to
cumulative sales
date
data
of
up date of purchase.
purchase.
Cumulative sales data, yeah, yes. Cumulative sales data in the sense cumulative sales total data.
Using the scan component.
Yeah, yes. So when you are asking in your assignment is just to calculate cumulative sum, you have to go for scan component.
Mm-hmm.
So write calculate cumulative sum of sales data up to date of purchase. So your input and I will tell you the fields for input and output. Date of purchase, amount
Mm-hmm.
and amount, customer
Mm-hmm.
ID. So in my
Mm-hmm.
output, I need customer ID, date of purchase, cumulative amount to date, amount underscore to underscore date. Yeah. So for each customer, you have to calculate cumulative sales data up to the date of purchase. You can include that in the uh, sorry, recommend line. Calculate cumulative sales amount data up to date of purchase for each customer. Okay.
Okay.
Whether you want to try this on your own or what do you want to do this?
No, no. I will do it by my own. But here the scan confusion which I have that I want to clear.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
those two yesterday I can do it. Here what I have done, I have used the duplicates input data, and based on I just did the roll up on key and other
Okay.
calculation. But in
And now,
scan, the same input I'm using, okay,
okay.
within this in parameter, if
Mm-hmm.
it's asking for the key,
Yeah. Yes.
here again I will give the key as employee ID, right?
Okay.
Then when it's asking transform, okay,
Okay.
it's not it's opening like this. So here I didn't have idea of what to do.
Okay. So this is like when you are going to the transform which you have created is opened in a package editor mode. That means you will be having a package with different functions so that you can use it while you are going for template mode. Remember, I have said you can use roll up and scan in both two modes. One is template mode and other one is expanded mode. If you are going to use aggregation functions, you will be using template mode, and if you are not going to use any, we'll be using expanded mode, where we can declare our own variables and we can use our variables in our transform function here, and we can
Okay.
do that kind of summarization for each group. So needlessly, without using aggregation functions, we can make use of these single functions available there, and then we can come up with the output. To explain you more clearly, before this, I will tell you what are all the aggregation functions we have here. You have seen max, min, sum, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then we have average, previous, we have accumulation. Accumulation is in roll-up. That is in the newer version of the Abinitio. I will tell you the purpose of accumulation. Count. Okay. So you can see, right? First, last, average. So these are the available functions.
What is the use of this product function?
Multiplication.
Okay.
I think previous is not available here in this older version. In addition to this, we have previous, accumulation, concatenation, everything. The newer version.
Which version you are using, Kartiki?
I'm currently using 3.1.2 GD.
Latest one.
Latest, I guess, is 3.1.5 or 6. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So when you get the package view, go back to the package view. Double click the transform. So here, if you see, temporary type, input select, initialize, scan, finalize, output select, key change. Okay. Now, first I will explain you this in a roll-up component, then you are able to understand what this is and how we can use this. Go back to roll-up component there. So in view, click package. Yeah. So what is the error message showing there? Sorry, it's an information. Viewing the package will exit the smart aggregation. To get back the smart mode, you need to exit the package editor and re-edit from the component parameters. Okay, click yes. Now you can see in package mode what are the functions you have given. Go to edit menu. File menu, file view, no, nothing. Okay. Okay. Now double click on temporary type. Text view, change it to text view. We'll explain you what are the different functions are and how you can use a roll up and scan in template mode. Okay. So to go for expanded mode, to work with roll up and scan in expanded mode, first you have to expand the transform. Now you have done it using by clicking view and then package, right? That's available in older version, but in newer versions, I think you will be having in the edit menu, you will be having expand transform. So if you click expand transform, a warning message will appear like you are now going into expanded mode. You cannot go back to template mode, or you want to proceed or something like this. So if you expand your transform, you cannot go back to your template mode. That means you cannot use your aggregation functions after expanding your transform. Okay, remember this. So after we
So
go for
you mean to say like uh, once we are in expanded mode, we cannot go back to the template mode.
yeah, we cannot go back to the template mode. We cannot use aggregation functions and we cannot go back to the template mode. We have to create another roll-up property. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the advantages of the expanded mode? Okay. Here we have
This is our expanded mode.
yes. Normally, what rollup and scan internally how Abinitio resolves is since you have given using the aggregation functions max and min, right?
Mm-hmm.
Max, min, and sum you have used, right? Abinitio, what it does is it internally expands its rollup transform for the aggregation functions given by you, and it performs the aggregation like this. It has to calculate max and min for every group, right?
Mm-hmm.
See in the rollup function there, it is finding the max value by comparing all the DOBs, that is the date of birth which you have used. Okay, first it is keeping a temporary variable, and then it's comparing all the records in that group. If it is greater than that temporary variable, if it is greater than that, then it is going to be the max. Then assign that value as the max value for the other records. So if any record is greater than that record, then use that value as the max value. So finally, it's using the max final max value which is appearing in that temporary value. So how this expanded mode works is we have different functions like this. Now click view and then go back to grid view, whether you are able to do that. I will explain you there first.
Yes, Karthik. One
Yeah.
second, I was just looking at this variable. So initially, what it has done simply two temporary variable has been created. Okay, then
Okay.
it had assigned the date of birth to max and min.
Yes.
But max and min, okay. And then what it's doing, like if DOB is greater than this, then that DOB else temp dot max temp dot 0 max temp 0. Okay. So it is not like it's not like it's arbitrarily pick the it's pick the largest value. It simply selected a value and comparing with each DOB in the group. If it's
Yeah.
great,
Yeah. Tell me.
yeah. If it's greater, then fine. If it's not greater, then it swap the value, right?
Yeah. Yes. This has to continue for all the records.
All the
Okay.
records for a group in a group.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So this is how Abinitio transforms your thing. So how you were given quick package.
Mhm.
Yes. We have different functions, right? Under the functions table, initialize, roll up, finalize, outputs, input select, and output select. Okay. So here, if you see, and we have user temporary type under user defined types.
Mhm.
So these functions, temporary type is used to create temporary variables. Okay, we can define our temporary variables. What are we going to use? Suppose, assume in the case you don't have a max function and you are going to compute the max function by yourself.
Mhm.
Okay, so in that case, how we will do? First, I will keep a value as the max value, and I will
Mhm.
pass all the salaries to that to a function which will calculate the max value by using all the salaries. So if the incoming salary is greater than my assigned default value, then assign that value as the max value and keep it as the temporary value. and now I have to look through all the salaries and find that max value using this temporary value. Okay, so this is how we will use roll up in an expanded mode. So the other functions are going to that package mode. Okay. So temporary type is where you define your temporary variables. Initialize, it is used to initialize your temporary variables. That is, I have to initialize whatever temporary variable I have defined. Okay, I have to give an initial value for that. After initializing, rollup function will be called. Rollup is the original transform function which is available. In your expanded, so in your template mode, you will be using the rollup function for defining the transformation, right? So you have to do all your transformation in the rollup function. The input for rollup function is the current record as well as the temporary record for that group. Okay. Input for your rollup function is current record as well as the temporary record. I will explain you current and temporary record later. And the last one is finalize. So after calculating the transform according to your group, finalize will be called once for each group. Okay. So how the looping goes is, first in your expanded mode, your temporary variables are created, they are initialized. Initialize function is called once for each group of data, and then rollup is called for each record in your group. Suppose if you have 10 records, rollup function will be called 10 times. So on the first time when it is called with the input record as well as the temporary record. So the input record is the incoming first record. The temporary record is the record created using the temporary variables. Using those two, rollup updates the temporary record, and then it uses the updated temporary record with the second record, and then it uses the updated temporary record with the third record. So likewise, rollup function is called with called 10 times if there is 10 records in that particular group. After your rollup completes its iterations, finalize will be called once for each group. So for the first group, initialize will be called once, rollup will be called 10 times, and then finalize will be called once. After your first group is completed, all your functions are reset. So initialize function will be called again so that all your temporary variables are initialized again, and rollup function it is going to execute for the number of records in your second group. Okay, and then finalize will be called for that group only once. So this is an interview question. If you have a rollup component and I have 3 groups, how many times these functions will execute? So for each group, initialize will be called once, initialize and finalize will be called once, and your rollup will be called as many times as your number of records in that group. Okay.
So my rollup, suppose if I have 3 groups, okay, and in each group there is two records. Okay. So what happened? Initialize will be initialize and finalize will be called once for each group. Fine.
Okay. Yeah. So that
and
means 3 times.
rollup, yes, 3 times, and finalize will be called 3 into 2. That is 6 times.
Not finalize, rollup.
Sorry, rollup. Rollup will be called 6 times. 3 into 2.
Yes.
Okay.
In
and why it happens? Why it happens?
Then only it can be calculated. The original value can be calculated.
Okay, that is the comparison. That is the comparison that was happening with each record. Yeah, when we are calculating max and min, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Now go back to the text view mode and try to understand how rollup calculates this maximum and min value. Okay. So if I am giving you 5 values, how will you calculate maximum value? Just a simple logic question. Don't consider this. If I am giving you 5 values, how will you calculate max value out of 10? Just
It's
think of your C program logic or anything. How will you calculate max?
this is what I'm telling. Like if we have values like this,
Mhm.
okay. So initially, this value, the first
Mhm.
value, will be
Mhm.
assigned to A,
Mhm.
okay, and the
Mhm.
second value assigned to B,
Okay.
okay. What I will do now, A and B will be compared,
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
A and B will be compared,
Mhm.
and if A is greater than, suppose if I am doing like this, if A is compared with B,
Mhm.
okay, so one is compared with B, one is not greater than 2, so my okay, A is not greater than B, then fine. My now my B will be
And let me help you. So the basic case is you have to compare record by record. That means field by field,
Mhm,
right? So if you attain the maximum field out of all the records after comparing all the records, anyhow you have to compare all the records, right? If there are 5 values, you have to do that 5 times. Then only you can be able to find max value. So you have to
mhm,
compare them with all the fields. So keeping that in mind, so go back to the function here.
mhm,
Uh, so for this rollup, it has created 3 temporary variables.
mhm,
One is max TMP, another one is minimum TMP, the last one is sum TMP. Okay, and it has assigned the default data types also according to your data type given. Okay, it assigns
mhm,
the correct data type also. So
mhm,
after creating the temporary variables, it has initialized the temporary variables. Remember, I have told you we have to initialize all the temporary variables which we have created, right?
mhm,
Yeah. So for the max and minimum value, it is assigning the input values. For the sum value, it is assigning 0. That is initializing 0. Okay.
mhm,
Yeah. So and into my rollup function, it calculates maximum and minimum value by comparing the temporary value as well as the current input record. Uh, See the function declaration here for rollup out rollup of tmp comma in. So it specifies that rollup rollup's input